Today I'll be talking about the legendary Rokinon 135 f2 lens for astrophotography. I'll walk you through step by step how you incorporate it into your imaging train, how you attach it to your mount, how you attach it to your camera, what you can expect from it, what to watch out for, some options on where to purchase it, and show you here's some of the great results I've been getting with it. For the last few years, I've been doing astrophotography through my Astrotech 18102 ED telescope. It is a 102mm f7 telescope, and it does roughly f5.6 with a 0.8x focal reducer and field planner. It is a great scope. I've been very happy with it. It's been great for for Orion Nebula, a lot of galaxies like Pinwheel, Triangulum. I've been able to get images of Andromeda with mosaics, but it struggles in two areas. It struggles with very small objects, so a lot of the smaller galaxies or planetary nebulas, and it struggles with the really big objects like the Bell Nebula, the Heart and Soul, one like that. So I have expanded my abilities by purchasing this Rokinon 135 f2 lens. That's this guy right here. This is a legendary lens in both the astrophotography and regular photography world. It has a focal length of 135 millimeters, which by astrophotography standards is wide field. It gives you a large field of view. It is fast at f2 or f2.2. It has a nice big 68mm lens. It is fantastic optics, running a flat build almost edge to edge, even with a full frame sensor. I have been absolutely thrilled with it. I took a great image of the Bell Nebula in just an hour. Been able to get unguided exposures of 1 to 2 minutes on my entry-level Explore Scientific IXOS 100 mount that you can see here, which is fantastic. With guiding, I've gotten sharp round stars at up to 3 minutes, and I actually haven't tried anything longer than that yet. But it's a very forgiving lens, very fast lens, and it delivers beautiful results, as you can see here. I do want to add that besides the variants of this lens for different mounts, there are two models of the Rokinon 135. There is the f2 or f2.2, which is what I have. It is completely a manual lens. But there's a newer model of this lens, I believe is a f1.8, which is electronic. For astrophotography, you want the fully manual lens, and happily it's also about half the price. The only issue I've had with this lens so far is that with its fast f2 speed, it is very sensitive to lens tilt. The first night I used it, it picked up a tiny amount of lens tilt in the connection between the camera and the photo drawer adapter. What I've been doing since then is when I attach the camera, I hold the lens vertically and apply the camera in a level like this so that it will go in smooth and flat. And the way to check for lens tilt is take a picture of a part of the sky filled with stars. Look at the four corners. If they don't match, if you have a corner that's in focus, a corner that's out of focus, a corner that has coma, then that is lens tilt. Depending on the mount, it usually retails for around $400. I bought mine used from B&H Photo, which is a great seller, and their used lenses come with a 90-day warranty. So they are a great option. You may also find a great Black Friday or Cyber Monday deal. Now let's talk about how you're going to attach the lens to your Astro camera. Now, if you're using a DSLR or mirrorless camera, it's much simpler. You just need to purchase the lens with the same mount as your camera. There's just a Rokinon 135 lens that will connect directly to an Astro camera like this. So I want to give a shout out to Agena Astro. I purchased the ZBO Nikon F to M42 adapter, photo drawer adapter from Agena Astro. This Rokinon lens is a Nikon F mount lens. The lens mounts securely to the adapter. Few words of warning when you look for adapters. One is you will find a lot of, for instance, Nikon F mount to M42 adapters available from many sellers. Most of those, almost all of them, are designed for attaching M42 lenses to Nikon F mount cameras. Those adapters will not work for this configuration. They adapt in the wrong direction. ZWO and QHY are the only companies I found that sold adapters that actually adapt Nikon F mount or Canon EOS, whatever adapter, to M42 or M54 rings. I would recommend doing Canon EOS or Nikon F mount for the Rokinon lens. That's going to give you the smoothest first-thing experience for getting adapters. I definitely do not want to buy Rokinon 135 lens with a micro four thirds or mirrorless mount on it. Those will not have enough back focus to work with an Astro cam and adapter. So for instance, the Nikon F mount has 46.5 millimeters of back focus, and between this adapter and the ASI533MC Pro's built-in 17.5 millimeters, it provides a perfect back focus for this lens. Studio sells adapters both with and without the filter door. This is the filter door adapter. If you plan to use a filter door with this lens, you have to buy the adapter with the lens built in. There is not enough back focus to allow for both an adapter and a filter door. So make sure you watch out for that. All right, let's talk about accessories on the Rokinon 135 and how to incorporate it into your Astro rig like I have here. So unlike a traditional telescope that will come with mount clamp rings on it,
being a camera lens, you will need to get rings to attach a 135 to your mount.
I am using 3D printed mounting rings. I printed them on my Bamboo Labs A1 3D printer. I used a design from Noah T. There will be a link to it in the description. We designed these two rings you see here, as well as this accessory bracket right here. We also provided STLs for a ZWO electronic autofocuser bracket, which I don't have printed here because I don't have a focuser. You will not want to print these in PLA. It's not strong enough. I printed these in PETG filament. This is a translucent blue from Bamboo Lab. I printed these with 6 upper and lower layers and 6 wall layers for added strength. I may actually reprint them in 100% infill for even more strength, but this feels very sturdy. I've used this configuration several nights. I haven't had any mechanical issues whatsoever. There's only a few pounds of weight total between the lens, the camera, and the guide filming camera, and that's well within the strength of the spring system in 3D plastic. So this is held together with M6 screws and nuts. Noah T did a great job on that system. I am using a Spiboni or SB vision receiver for my guide scope, which is a Spiboni 165 scope. The Spiboni SB305 camera. And I'm going to loosen and remove the guide scope to clearly see the adapter. So this is the Vixen receiver right here. I'd say my only complaint with Noah T's design is that for the joints where the clamps go together, right here in the hinge, they are not held together with metal screw. It's designed so that it only spots in one way and then it hinges. However, I found that when working with the bracket, opening and closing it, it's very easy for the top to come out unexpectedly. Otherwise, this is a great ring system for this lens. I will note that you want to make sure that when you place the lens in the rings, you don't restrict the movement of either the focus rings or the aperture rings. So be careful how you sit it in there. And you want to make sure that the lens is secure. When the rings are closed, it doesn't slide or rotate easily. And to make that happen, I ordered this roll of 1/16 inch thick by 1 inch wide adhesive backed neoprene for that. Has a rubbery texture that holds the ring securely. Ideally, I would be able to line the entire inner rings with the neoprene, but if I went all the way around, that would reduce the diameter by 1/8 of an inch and actually would have closed. So in hindsight, I could have ordered one 2-inch neoprene, and the 1 inch wide is too wide for the brackets. I just sliced it down the middle to 2 half-inch strips. I've talked about the guide scope adapter and bracket right here. I talked about the accessory bracket design that comes with Noete's pre-designs for the Rokinon 135. Eventually, I will add a bracket on this plate for the Raspberry Pi ring mate that I use to control my bolt rig. And when I add electronic autofocuser, I'll also add a bracket for that. And once I've added all of that, I'll probably also need a
power bank to run all of the electronics and improve the cable management.
Hi, this is Slightly Future Me. I was editing this video and realized I never talked about the Bahtinov mask. This is another 3D printed accessory. I will have a link to this file in the description. It slips right over the dew shield on the 135, and it's fantastic for getting precise focus. If you've never used a Bahtinov mask, I don't know if you'll be able to see, but it has these tiny little slits in the front of it, and they're pointed in different directions. And what they do is produce diffraction spikes around bright stars. And I can see an example right here. And the spikes will only be perfectly lined up when the lens or telescope is perfectly in focus. So these are fantastic accessories to have for any telescope, especially if you don't have an autofocuser.